What's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to the Passive Income Network and today's live stream. In today's live stream, we're about to be going in about Ripple XRP. And again, if you're new to this channel, my name is C. Will. This is the Passive Income Network. Welcome to the show. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and put your thinking caps on. Make sure that you open to this information because we're about to lock in on Ripple XRP. This is what some of the people wanted in the group chats, and we about to dive in. So here we go. Today's topic is Ripple and XRP, the quiet takeover of global finance. So if you are a fan of Ripple XRP or you're new to cryptocurrency, I would say XRP is a great starting point. When I first got into crypto in 2000 and late 2020, XRP was the one that sparked my interest. Why is because this whole narrative it was pushing is about global finance being a liquidity layer, right? And that's where it is at nowadays. So this is a great crypto. If you don't know much, this is a great stream for you to learn. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off talking about the global financial system, right? We have to talk about the global financial system. If we're going to break down Ripple and XRP, the quiet takeover of global finance, let's start here. Swift, right? So we're going to talk about the Swift banking system. I made it real simple. I go, what is the Swift banking system? Okay. And the Swift banking system is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, right? Swift, a secure global messaging network used by 11,000 financial institutions in 200 plus countries to securely transmit information and instructions for financial transactions. So anywhere you at pretty much in the world, if they have a bank, this is what they're using is the Swift system. When you send a wire, they charge you, it takes you 3 days. Okay. It acts as a standardized communication system rather than a bank, allowing for reliable cross-border payments, treasury, and trade transactions. Then key aspects of the Swift include secure messaging. Swift does not hold money but sends messages to facilitate secure, accurate, and standardized transfers between banks. Global reach. It is the primary network for international wire transfers, connecting banks, corporates, and market infrastructures. And then there's efficiencies. It ensures that financial messages are sent quickly with high security on standardization, allowing for faster processing than older systems. But there is inefficiencies, and we're going to talk about those. Components. Swift is a member-owned cooperative, ensuring a secure and resilient network for high-value financial information. So these are the big dogs. What's good from Costa Rica, XRP Army? Thank you for joining the stream, Ricky Ricardo Films. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So as we talk about this, so I just broke down what Swift is. We went and did a nice simple Google search. Google AI said, hey, it's a communication system used by the world's banks, these global financial institutions. Okay. Forgot to turn my light on. Give me a second. Is that better? That's a lot better. A lot better. Okay. So what we got here, let me fix that a little bit more. Is that better? Okay, so what we have here is Swift. You put money into your bank. You want to send a wire transfer out to somewhere else in the world. Those banks talk to each other through a communication system. The money is transferred. Doesn't that sound familiar? Sounds very familiar to another technology called blockchain. And that's what we talk about mostly on this channel. So Ripple is like, hey, we're in position to upgrade this system. We don't need to necessarily replace it. We can add on to and upgrade. Okay. And they have the XRP token. The XRP token is the transaction fee. It is what powers the XRP ledger, the ledger system, which is a blockchain. Okay. And this ledger system is quietly taking over global finance. And we're going to talk about that as of now. So let's go here directly from Brad Garlinghouse. This is the CEO founder of Ripple, and let's see what he has to say about Swift. Let's get to it.
So you've said before that you think there's a world where Ripple could take over Swift.
Well, I've also said I thought there was ways we could work with Swift.
Let's talk about that.
Try to catch
well, I'll start that comment just by saying, look, Swift is owned. I mean, I think Godfrey, by that, has a very challenging job. Swift is owned by the banks. It isn't a traditionally kind of construct. You have a very strong chairman, and in-house Citi kind of is an important stakeholder in that. But at the end of the day, Ripple is trying to help financial institutions and banks be successful in the future. How do we enable Santander to compete more effectively with PayPal, with Amazon, Facebook? And it's not going to be in settlement times measured in days. It's not going to be measured settlement costs measured in $15+. So I want to see our mission in life really has been, how do we help these financial institutions be successful? Those are the same financial institutions that own Swift. And so in many ways we've thought, hey, we could work together. That hasn't played out. And I think increasingly, we are seeing more and more banks adopt Ripple's technology, and we're seeing that play out. But I have a ton of respect for what Swift has built, just to be clear.
So he played this smart. He was like, hey, I respect Swift. I respect Swift, okay? So he don't want beef with the big banks, the JP Morgans and Morgan Stanleys and the IMFs, all these type of people. He wants to work with them, right? And this is the change in the system. He can upgrade the system with a faster communication protocol, a better ledger system, and instead of sending your payment takes 5 days and you can't send anything on the weekend, on the XRP ledger and blockchain technology in general, you can send it in a few seconds. So you can send $1 billion or even $1 trillion in a few seconds. And the security is on point. It is a safe system, and it's on the blockchain. And then Ripple also put out the RLUSD, which is their stable coin that corresponds and reacts to the Genius Act. So they have a legal dollar that is backed by US dollars and US Treasury. So they have a currency denominated. So you can actually move $1 trillion, $1 billion, $100 million, a dollar using RLUSD, send it anywhere in the world in a few seconds, and you're good to go, right? And it's backed by the dollar. So eventually the goal for these people is to have the dollar, the RLUSD, be easily spent at stores. USDC, RLUSD, potentially tethered, PayPal USD. Stablecoin purchases is the next phase, where PayPal, Venmo, you go into a store, you can swipe, and then it automatically takes your USDC or your stablecoin in a few seconds, just as fast as Visa, okay? And that's what's important. So I found this post here that I want to talk about. And again, as y'all join the stream, say what's good. If you got any questions, please let me know. So here, this is a interesting post. So the global banking elite just secretly surrendered to crypto. BBVA is the first domino to fall. 800 billion banking giant BBVA is quietly embedding Ripple custody straight into its core banking system across all of Spain. You hear that? This is not a small pilot. This is one of Europe's largest banks hardwiring institutional crypto custody, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenized assets, all directly into the heart of their operations. Under the cover of MiCA, this is the European regulations there, they are not fighting crypto anymore. They are plugging into it. BBVA customers will soon access real digital assets from inside their trusted bank. No shady exchange required. The bridge between TradFi and the blockchain is no longer coming. It is already built from the inside. So do you understand what just happened here? And I got another one for y'all too. So this is what's interesting as well here, right? You have Ripple being integrated. This bank out in Spain, $800 billion bank, is directly allowing people to custody soon and buy crypto from the bank. Hold your dollars. You can get your Bitcoin held there. This is all being integrated. And if you go look here, I use Charles Schwab, right? This is one of the biggest financial institutions also in the world. a brokerage account, right? And they do all kind of different type of accounts. But if you look at it, Charles Schwab is launching direct spot Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in the first half of 2026 through a new product called Schwab Crypto, managed by Charles Schwab Premier Bank, another bank. The service will allow clients to buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly alongside traditional investments. And again, so does this make sense? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense. Put XRP. So you got the MiCA regulations, you got Europe's largest bank hardwiring institutional crypto custody, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenized assets directly into their hardware operations. And then you have a Charles Schwab saying, hey, you guys can directly trade spot Bitcoin ETFs. You can trade crypto equities, indirect exposure to different crypto funds. They got a launch date for the second half of 2026, direct trading of Bitcoin, BTC, and Ethereum. So now instead of going directly to Coinbase or something, you could literally be at your Charles Schwab, you could be at that European bank and purchase Bitcoin. So now in your brokerage account or your bank account, you're holding Bitcoin. And Ripple is a part of this as well, okay? Very, very interesting. Put Ripple in the chat. So then as we, dive a little deeper, this is like a case study. Sorry, someone's doing lawn maintenance out there, if y'all can hear that or not. So if we go into this post here, the digital marketplace is important to the future, and Ripple is the right partner to take us there. This is Eddie Gonzalez, the president of iPayout. Ripple Payments helps iPayout deliver real-time payouts into the US and Canada from days to seconds. So listen to this one.
We're wanting our clients to build new business models like micro settlements, just-in-time shipping, financing, etc. that simply wouldn't be feasible before, all because the funds can move when and where they need to instantly. The digital marketplace is going to be the future, and Ripple is the right partner to take us there.
Another company. That's some crazy stuff, right? That is some crazy stuff. So the point of me showing you this is because Ripple is in many countries, on many continents, doing the business development that is necessary to get their technology adopted. They have great distribution, okay? Let me close this here. Real-time cross-border payouts into the US and Canada. So this is iPayout. iPayout is a global payments platform that enables businesses to deliver fast, compliant payouts to workers, merchants, and partners worldwide through unified API infrastructure. That's a keyword that y'all gonna need to pay attention to. API infrastructure, right? Goal: enable fast, transparent cross-border payouts into the US, Canada while reducing settlement delays and minimizing working capital requirements. Global platform solution. By integrating Ripple Payments, iPayout leverages enterprise-grade digital asset infrastructure to accelerate settlement, improve payment transparency, and support high-volume cross-border payouts. And I know y'all have heard of CBDCs. This is not it, but it might sound similar to you, but it's not quite there, okay? And we're getting closer though, so we'll pay attention to that, but not on this video. Let's get back to it. So you got 2007, iPayout was founded, and 40% plus of global economic activity reachable through U.S. payout infrastructure, right? Eddie Gonzalez said, we are cooking. API first payout platform designed to help businesses move money globally with operational complexity. And API allows you to call and move information, okay? And then if we go over here, Ripple's steadily cooking, okay? If we go over here, you have revolutionizing global payments with Ripple's end-to-end stablecoin platform. So again, stablecoins is the key to this as well, because if we're talking about the quiet takeover of global finance, we're talking about it right now in the stream, and you can see it. Okay, you can see it. So if you look at here, unified vision for global payments. Okay, we'll go right here. This is important. Ripple takes a fundamentally different approach. Ripple Payments, okay, and then we'll go dive at Ripple Payments in a moment, is a complete end-to-end platform for collecting, holding, exchanging, and paying out all forms of value, fiat, stablecoins, or other digital assets. And what I think they're doing smart here is they're not necessarily saying we're replacing the traditional financial system. They're integrating and upgrading the system. There's more options. You see fiat, that's dollars or euros or whatever. Then you have stable coins. That's what we just talked about, USDC, RLUSD, and then other digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Backed by more than a decade of experience and over 75 licenses across key financial markets, stretching from New York to the European Union to the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Ripple is already trusted to move hundreds of billions of dollars across some of the world's most challenging corridors. Okay, so if we look here, I showed y'all this before. This is the stablecoin landscape. So with fintech companies, before we get to that, you can collect funds globally, you can hold balances in virtual accounts, you can exchange 24/7 with direct access to RLUSD, you can deal with payouts. And if you go look at this here, you have the stablecoin access, on and off ramps, virtual accounts, and a virtual account is essentially a bank account, okay? Payment processing, payment orchestration, custody, blockchain, and that's the Ripple XRP ledger, wallet as a service, and payment networks. Okay. And then some of their customers and in the countries and the currency that they are supporting. This is some deep stuff, y'all. Some very deep stuff. So again, type XRP in the chat. Just letting y'all know that this global system takeover is definitely quiet. You have to be in the blockchain space to even know about this, or you have to be one of these type of companies that are integrating this. This is lowering costs for these companies and speeding up and upgrading what they have already been doing. Okay. Ripple is the company, the business, the foundation. XRP is the token that helps power the XRP ledger. So how do we benefit? Well, obviously you need to hold XRP token if you want to try to capture some of that upside, or you need to build a business or have your business integrate these Ripple financial services. Okay. And then maybe Ripple may IPO. There's many ways to benefit. It's not just only holding the token. We have to think bigger, y'all. Think bigger. All right. So if we go look at the platform here, this is, again, cross-border payment solutions, integrate stablecoin payments into your business. I think that is smart for everyone. One platform for all of your payment infrastructure. So we're just going to skim through this here. So again, collect, accept stablecoin and fiat payments globally. So someone can send you USDC, RLUSD, right? They can do that. Let's see if I can open this image up. Let's see if I can, because this is a actually important image to open. Let's see if I can put this. Yeah, this is what I want to show y'all. So this image here is an example of kind of what the dashboard looks like. So you have a fiat balance, right? You have a Mexican peso balance, Brazilian dollar, AED, that's the Derma. Then you have the Ripple RLUSD, you have USDC. What they're doing smart is they're saying we'll do fiat currencies in many countries, and we'll even do multiple stable coins. We don't discriminate. Then you got exchange rates, beneficiaries, you can send, you can receive, you have payments reports. It's all in one place. Especially if you're a small business or a large company, this is exactly something you need if you're doing global commerce, okay? So let's get back here. So again, that's what you can see it there, okay? And then obviously when you hold, you have wallets for customers, for internal treasury. So if a company wanted to hold different cryptos, put some Bitcoin or something on their balance sheet, holding fiat or crypto, it's all there. And then all the customers scrolling across. I am impressed. They have been cooking. They definitely been cooking, y'all. They have been cooking. So again, just got a little bit more for y'all. I'm closing out. Then we have, let's see, this is important stuff here. Oh, there we go. Shows y'all this. All right, so this is another part of their website. Modernize your financial infrastructure. Ripple payments, custody, and stablecoin solutions. Empower financial institutions. So you will go talk to their team if you, again, have a business. Sales team will holler at you. Then they'll educate you. And then this is how all these companies are integrating the solution, which is like
blockchain, crypto. If change is happening in finance, then it's happening everywhere. And it's happening with Ripple.
Again, 1 million custody wallets, settlements in 3.5 seconds, 3.3 to 5 seconds, 90% of the global finance. Like, come on now. This is actually impressive. Okay, crypto businesses, payment services, fintechs, banks, Ripple custody, right? Ripple USD. It's all there, y'all. It's all there. So again, if you want to go dive deeper, just go to the Ripple website, go check out the Ripple Twitter. And again, this is not a promotion of saying go and buy XRP token. That's not even the case for this video here, for this stream. It's really talking about XRP and Ripple's quiet takeover of the financial system or the global finance. And the takeover is subtle. The takeover is really integration. And again, if you're a business person, this helps out your business by integrating. If you want to try to capture some upside, yeah, of course, hold the XRP token, okay? And eventually, Ripple, rumor is they're going to go public. They're a really profitable company. And I'm telling you, these new age banks and financial institutions like SoFi, like Ripple, it's mind-blowing, y'all. It's mind-blowing. The SWIFT system is being upgraded. Everything is faster. Everything's being more transparent. We have to watch out. So if you're out there doing some sketchy stuff, you better be careful. And if you're doing good business, this might benefit you. That's the information I got for this stream. Ripple and XRP, the quiet takeover of global finance. Again, I'm C. Will with the Passive Income Network. I just want to drop some gems on your head. Until the next time, y'all.
Passive income, gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.